Hey robot makers, hope you're having a good day so far. So do you like Raspberry Pis, MicroPython, robots and making stuff? So do I. So let's dive into all the stuff I've made in 2024 and have a look at some predictions for the year ahead in 2025. We'll also have a bit of an unboxing of a little gift that PCBWay have sent me. I have no idea what's in there. So let's dive straight in. My name's Kevin. Come with me as we build robots and bring them to life with code and have a whole load of fun along the way. Okay, let's get over to our keynote. There we go. Yes, this is a 2024 wrap video. I think I do one of these around this time. They're pretty much the last week of each year. So we're going to have a look at all the different things we've made in the past year. I also wanted to give you an update on how things are going with the channel. So we started the year with 23,987 subscribers on YouTube. This is one of the metrics I look at every single day. The target was to try and get to 40,000. It's just an aim. We kind of came a little bit shy of that, about 3,000 subscribers shy of that, but we're not doing too bad. We are growing, pretty much getting there. So forecast to achieve 37,045 by the end of this year. I have a little spreadsheet that tells me that. So some other objectives, key results that I keep. I have a spreadsheet of these as well, but I'll just show you some of the highlights. So one of them was to increase awareness and influence. So I joined Blue Sky this year with a lot of people moving off X and that kind of social media platform being a bit degraded. I thought it was time to sort of move over to Blue Sky, and I'm on also on Mastodon and Threads as well as Instagram. But Blue Sky is pretty nice. I've also attended quite a few maker events this year. So this was one of the objectives I had for this year, was to attend as many as feasible. So I went to Open Source in San Francisco, which was absolutely amazing. I think it's the second one that they've had there, so we're due to do that again next year. I also went to Makers Central at Birmingham MEC. That was really fun. I was just a walk-around person, punter on that one. So maybe next year we'll look at having a stall perhaps with some of our projects in there. I also went to Maker Faire Rome, which was really, really cool. I got to see quite a few new things, including the new, which is just behind me, Raspberry Pi monitor. That was actually on display, even though they didn't mention it. It was clearly a new product there. I also went to the Sanjay Mortimer Rip Rap Festival. It's missing an R on there instead of two Fs. Smurf, as they call it, 24. That's really, really cool. I saw the new Prusa Core 1 3D printer. More about that later. And I also went to the Liverpool Make Fest, which is like a really cool makers exhibit kind of event at Liverpool Library. Some of the things: building better community resources. So I want to make Kev's Robots the best place on the internet for robotics. So this year I really doubled down on creating new course material. I've got a nice script that I wrote in Python that can build an entire course with all the kind of next and back buttons, all that kind of structure, and it can do quite a few other things from data files and so on. But essentially you can put in a bunch of markdown files, so you can just concentrate on writing the content, and then it will build that into a little course. So that means I don't have to pay for any kind of course system online, such as like Thinkific. Quite a few of those are very expensive to run every month, and you have to sort of continually feed new people into it. My courses are all completely free, so definitely go and check those out on kevsrobot.com/learn. Other objectives included increasing the revenue. So this is mostly through ad revenue from YouTube. So you can see that it's just under 3.5k for the year. Sounds quite a lot, but it actually costs probably more than that to run the channel. So it's at least £200 or £300 a month just to host all the various different things I host, all the bits of software and hardware that I need to make the channel work. So can't quite quit my day job yet on that one, but it's definitely getting better than it was previously. Another one was about producing better content. So one of the results I can see from that is we had nearly 2 million unique visitors in 2024 to kevrobots.com. That's quite impressive. I'm quite impressed that my little Raspberry Pi cluster, which just sits behind me there, is able to serve that many people, and of course that many people are interested in actually looking at all the content that's on there. So that's really pleased with that. I'll probably do some more analytics on that, I think, later, to see which courses are working well, which ones are not working well, and probably spend a bit more time on that as well. And then better at marketing. So I probably need to get much better at this because I'm not really selling anything. I've not put a lot of effort into that. So probably something I need to switch up just to get better at that. So I'm going to keep the same 5 objectives for next year, but I'm going to have some different measurements for them with new targets for this coming year. So let's have a look at some of the videos, projects and robots that I've created in the past year. And if you want to look at these, you can actually go over to Kes Robots. Let's go to Kes Robots and go to the videos page, and then there's a year in review when that actually loads up. Not sure why it's decided to go slow just when I want it to be fast. But yeah, if we go to the videos page, I'll just let that load up. We can actually see all these metrics, and basically I've just taken a screenshot of these. We'll come back to that one. So, in January I created 4 videos. I created 1 robot, and I have 4 projects, and I wrote 12 different articles. So let's have a look at these. QB1 got some updates. So QB1 is that little robot that I built for learning ROS. Something I will definitely return to this year with a vengeance. A lot of people have really come to my channel because of ROS tutorials, so I'll definitely be building more of those out. And we also use that robot with VM, which is a really cool platform, works with ROS as well, and just helps you build robots quicker. So I'm looking at building a QB2 robot. It's one of the projects I've got kind of on the desk for this year. In fact, there's one of the new motors with some encoders, so that's going to be forming the basis of the new robot that I'm building. I'm probably going to use a mixture of 3D prints and laser cut as well for this new project, so be kind of a mixed media. Next up was then ultimate storage with setting up a Raspberry Pi 5 as a NAS drive. So with the NVMe hats that were becoming really popular at the beginning of the last year, beginning of this year I should say, there's lots of need for content. So that's one of the popular videos. You can see that it's got 23,000 views. Similarly, on the Raspberry Pi 5 vein, you can see that I really kind of carried on with that, mastering creating a powerful home server home lab. So I know a lot of people like to use their Raspberry Pis to build like a home server or a home lab. We talk about the differences between that on that project as well. And the Ollama web UI on Raspberry Pi 5. Again, I think this is a topic I'll probably return to because there have been a lot of updates to Ollama since I originally did this video. So there's lots of improvements we can look at. I'm definitely going to be looking at this, I think, in the new year, probably early January. And then on the articles, I wrote quite a few separate articles related. Some of them related to these videos, some of them related to just things I needed to document and hadn't done previously. So Python and Arduino, for example. So quite a lot of effort went into writing those articles in early January, but not too many robots. I aim to get at least 1 robot per month if I can, just to try and mix it up a little bit. In February, I only did 3 videos, but you can see that the Pi cluster one was one of the most popular ones, 47,805 views when I took this snapshot. Then we've got the cracking the Enigma. I thought that would actually done better, but that's actually using a Raspberry Pi 5 cluster to do some parallel processing work, so it's quite a cool piece of software to do that. And then there's the Arduino Moon Rover, which was from was it Sunfounder, I think, that one. These kind of review videos don't tend to do as well, so I might not do as many of those, I think, in the new year. We shall see how that goes. I think it's one of those when a supplier sort of contacts you and says, we've got a cool robot, can we give you this for free? I'm like, I'm all about the robots. But then trying to make some kind of content out of it isn't just like an advert for it, is quite tricky. You can see that I wrote a couple of articles, one about the clustered Pi, which is a little cluster that I run behind me there on the Raspberry Pis, Sunfounder Galaxy rover review, and then the 2 that follow those particular projects. So in March, I produced 5 videos, clearly quite a good month. We had making weird stuff. That video didn't perform particularly well, I think, of all the ones in March. Rust versus MicroPython. I'd have thought that would have got more views than it did, but I guess there's not that many people that are interested in Rust just yet. It's still quite niche. Building a robot arm. That one was quite a fun little project, though. Because of the way that I designed the actual servos in the arms, it doesn't really work. So that's kind of been put in the in storage for now until I've figured out how to do some kind of planetary gears or something just to make them have a bit more torque to them. The servos themselves work fine. It's just the amount of weight that's on the arm and the size of it, because it's the size of a human arm. It's absolutely huge. And then we had the building your own fast API search engine. So kevsrobots.com actually has a search engine built in, and it runs off a tiny piece of Python code that you can see in that particular video. Again, I would have thought that would have been a bit more interesting to people. There we go. I think we've got a bit of a timeout there. So this was just going back to that year in review thing. I just wanted to show you, we've got this year in review. You can see all the different stats there across all the different years, and then for each year there's a separate page that gives you all the stats, and all these stats get generated each time I update the site, so it kind of just takes care of itself. So you can see individually there, and each one of these you can click onto and get to the actual content of the video, or click on the actual link to get the article up there. So it's quite a nice little feature that I added to the site, and as soon as we cross over into 2025, that new tab will appear on there as well. And look at that, there's 3 new tabs that we'll look at a little bit later on. Okay, so anything else to say on that one? And we had the PyDog review as well on there, which was quite a fun project. In April, I only did 3 videos in April. One robot created, which was the cute little robot arm. I really like this little robot arm project. It prints in like maybe an hour or 2. It's really, really quick, and it's such a fun little project to do. You just need a couple of servos and a Raspberry Pi Pico and a controller such as the PC9685, or you can even use one of these little servo helpers, which I'll be selling on my store, which are actually available on my store to buy right now. Actually, we'll talk about that a little bit more detail in a moment or two. Sync thing I thought was quite a fun video. That one didn't do too badly, I guess, in the scheme of things. That one is just about syncing software and how to sort of sync files between lots of different Raspberry Pis. And the Raspberry Pi 5 Slash Your Bills was kind of alternate software. So if you use like, I don't know, Photoshop, you can use like a GIMP or something like that as an alternative. Lots of different things on that one. Okay, in May I created, I reviewed one robot. I didn't really create the Alvik robot, but there was a robot video specifically in that month. The fortune teller is it's actually just behind me. I don't think you can actually just see it just about there. But that's Voltara. That's where I started to put that together for open source. You can see in May we're sort of getting ready for the open source event, I think, which was in June. The Pi Can Save Your Life video, this was all about how you can back up all your files to a Raspberry Pi and use your Raspberry Pi as like a NAS storage, which is covered in a previous one, and this is specifically how to back it up from a Mac. You have to add some extra time machine options to Samba to get that to work. And then because May is kind of approaching summer, we've got some summer projects for Raspberry Pi. These tend to do quite well in general, the Raspberry Pi kind of recipe videos of how to do various different things with Raspberry Pis. The Alvik is such a cool robot. I remember, like, as soon as they announced this, I could not wait. This is the first robot that's specifically designed for MicroPython, and I don't think there's any other robots that are kind of commercially available designed for MicroPython at the time. So this really was kind of a first for that. So I did a couple of videos on that one. One was kind of like a deep dive, and another one was it worth the money? And I wrote up the articles on the Alvik itself, as well as the Raspberry Pi Time Machine. Okay, so that's May. June is when we went to San Francisco, so I didn't create any robots, projects or articles that month, but I did manage to get out 5 videos, which I think is quite impressive given that I wasn't there most of the time. So the first one was about retro coding. So I've actually got a couple of books on MicroPython from Raspberry Pi, which are all about gaming. So like kind of retro gaming. There's 2 editions of that. So I definitely want to do some videos around programming Python and making some like retro games in Python. The AI kit was launched, you can see there, 4th June, so that was a really fun video to sort of get out the door. You can see it's a popular one, it's got nearly 100,000 views, that one. Probably, I think it's the like 2nd most popular video on my channel, that one. So it's all about the AI, and is it better than the Google Coral, which obviously it is by a long shot. Then we had the Ask Me Anything. That one didn't do too badly, didn't do too well. I think it was really kind of a filler show. Sometimes I'll do little shows which are, I've not got a lot prepared, so I'll just do a mailbox or, you know, a mailbag or something like that. Then I did the short video which was on the what it's like to hire a Waymo self-driving taxi in San Francisco. This was one of the coolest experiences of being in San Francisco. Drive you around. Such a cool experience. Really, really enjoyed that. We did it twice. It was that good. And then the Pi and Man 5 case was a really cool case, which is available from who actually makes that one? I can't remember the name of it. Just have to wait a second for the there we go. So we're back. Just saw there's a bit of a glitch there as my internet connection got dropped for a second. I'm not sure what's going on there. So yeah, we spent about 2.5 weeks over in a split between San Francisco and New York. So quite a few. Oops, sorry about that. Quite a few experiences to be had there. First time I went in a helicopter, in fact, in New York. That was really cool, just flying over Manhattan. So yeah, really, really good experience. So it's my 50th this coming year, so we'll be back in San Francisco doing some other travel as well. I'll talk about a little bit later on. Oops. Every time my internet changes, I've got 2 connections, it comes up with this Chrome browser. It's such a pain. About that, keeps it flicking back and forwards there. Okay, so in July, I think that should be the last time it does it. In July, for goodness sake, I'm just going to quit Chrome because that's really, really irritating. There we go. So yes, in July I produced 5 videos, 2 projects and 4 articles written. So let's have a look at these videos. I've just quit Chrome. Why is it loading it back up? That is super irritating. Sorry, let me just quit that there. I think there's some issues with BT, which is my broadband provider. I can see it keeps dropping out, which is quite irritating. But it doesn't drop the entire video, it just means that you get a bit of buffering until it's sort of caught up. Anyway, so yes, is it Sunfounder, Marie says, the maker of the Pine Man case? I could Google that one and find out. I can't remember who makes it off the top of my head. Anyways, so yes, made a video about MicroPython, intermediate skill level. So the idea, if you've got different skill sets, maybe I just need to hide that down there, maybe. So you've got different levels of skill. Not everybody's a beginner, so it's quite useful. I'm really sorry about this. It keeps dropping out and this keeps popping up. It's super irritating that it does this. If anybody knows why this happens, it's something to do with Stream Deck. I've actually allowed it to have access to my account, but it still pops up every single time, which is super irritating. And it seems to do it every single time my broadband changes connection, which is pretty irritating. So I'm currently streaming between a fixed landline on BT and Starlink. So every time it swaps over, we get a little glitch happening. There we go. It's going to keep doing this, I think, until that settles down. So what else did I do? The Pi apps was quite a fun video. That one was about all the different Pi apps that you can install. It's like an unofficial app store for Raspberry Pi, and they keep a script every time a new package gets updated. They update the Pi apps, so you can install it very, very simply. So I've installed a few things through that, which is pretty cool. The Auto DIY story. So this was a really fun video to make, which is kind of researching how Camillo created Auto DIY and how that became HP that you can buy, and still 3D printed, and still works with Arduino as well. For goodness sake, I don't know how to stop that from popping up. Maybe if I quit Stream Deck, that would stop that from happening. Anyways. Yeah, the brachiograph was the other cool thing that I was going to mention in July as well. That's like a really cool project for drawing things, and it's very, very simple to make that as well. So the wall drawing robot, I've actually not finished that one. It's one of the that's for the shame list, I think, that one. I had a few issues with getting that to work. So that's a project I'll probably return to at some point once I've... it's more the physicality of it. It's quite difficult to make the robot thing work well and have all the weights. So it's one of those that just requires a bit of extra effort to get that one working. Then we had the Raspberry Pi 2 launch, so that was really cool. I did that one over at Pimoroni's factory, the headquarters in Sheffield. So that was really cool to do a live stream and kind of showcase all the new products that they had out, such as this Jumbo Pico Jumbo. It's an absolutely gigantic Pico 2. So this was when the Pico was launched and didn't have their Wi-Fi module installed on it. Then we had a follow-up video. You can see I'll do this quite often. Sometimes we might be able to predict what what kind of product is coming next by what videos I'll put out there, because I do them every Sunday, and then the product launches tend to be like a Monday. So 18 Pico project you should, to get you started. That was a really fun one to do, and kind of use a lot of the content that I previously created and hosted on kesrobots.com. Then the Pico Tamachibi, this is a virtual pet that I created. So I updated this one for the Raspberry Pi Pico 2. Really sorry about that. So you can see here, this is, if I just go full screen a second, you can see this is the Pico Tamachibi 2 PCB, looking a bit scratched up there. Well, you can see on the back there, we've got the Pico 2 driving this. And we have the screen and the user buttons there as well. So you can solder all this, it's just one single PCB. It's a little bit fiddly to solder those header pins, just the only thing that I would say is a bit awkward about that. But it's quite a fun project to do, and we have the blanks available on the kesrobots.com store as well, so you can actually buy these and make your own Pico Tamachibi. Just as simple as dropping in the components, and kind of away you go. Right, so I'm just going to close down a couple of these. It's absolutely going nuts over here. So let me just quit Chrome again on that. And I'm going to quit Stream Deck, I think. If I quit Stream Deck though, that'll make it really difficult for me to change things over. So what I'll do, just have to bear with that while that messes about. Honestly, it's like malware or something, but it's not supposed to be. Okay, let's go back over to Keynote. So what else did I do? So the Pico Tamachibi virtual pet, and then we've got the Learn Linux command line. You can see I wrote up quite a few of those, as well as the two-way communication between over Bluetooth. So that's quite a cool video to do. Okay, so if you like what I do and you're up to to make more of these kind of videos, please give this video a like, comment, just let me know just how irritating those pop-ups are every couple of seconds on there as the right on cue. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It means an awful lot to me. It's one of the main metrics I look at and keeps me going on the channel. So if you've not done that, I really, really appreciate that. Cool. Adam says yes, BT is malware. Couldn't agree more on that right now. Honestly, if I give you a little screenshot, I could show you from this behind the scenes camera. I know that one there. You can see that graph there. That is all the ups and downs of the connection that I've kind of currently got. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. So September, I produced 6 videos in September. And you can see that I created 1 robot, no projects tinkered together, and I wrote 4 articles. So the two-way Bluetooth communication video, that was it's quite easy to communicate one way, like having like a main and a secondary device that connects to that. But actually having them work in both directions seems to be a bit tricky, but actually it's not too difficult to do. Making Pis talk to each other over Bluetooth, so having a Pico talk to a full-blown Raspberry Pi. That I don't think I'd done a video on that one, so I definitely wanted to cover that one this year. And then we've got the Arduino Plug and Make Kit. This is one of my most fun projects, so I've got that over just here. So it's literally just coupled together with a few of these connectors. I like the way that this works. You've got these I2C compatible boards, and you can daisy chain them together because they've all got like a unique address, so you just need one to connect, and then you can connect everything else together, so you can create all kinds of different projects with this fun kit. And this is really just a giant PCB with some 3mm holes in it, so yeah, quite a fun kit to buy. So that was something that I saw as well at the Rome Maker Fair. They had that there too. Then we had the smackdown between MicroPython and Arduino C++. I thought it was quite cool to stamp my mark where I stand with that. And I bought a laser cutter that particular month in September. I know Laurie's just mentioned on the chat that she's bought one too. So much fun. So I was beginning to look at what can I build with this. I've got to build a robot, so I built a wood bot, just using the laser cutter, just using it for like the chassis and the holder for the motors and the rangefinder. I built quite a few things since then, and I've got a really cool project coming up we can talk about a little bit later on in the chat. Raspberry Pi AI camera video, so that was launched. That was one of the most popular ones of that set. All the Raspberry Pi launch videos tend to be on the popular side because people have just heard about it and they come to my channel to learn about it. So it's quite a cool thing that I get those in advance. Cool. So in October, I produced 5 videos, 1 robot, no projects, and 1 article written up. So the AI camera deep dive video, so that one did quite well. That's got nearly 10,000 views already. So that one was just, you know, what can it do? How can we build a custom machine learning model and deploy that to the camera? Didn't quite get that working for that particular video, but I'll be working with Sony on that one to troubleshoot it. And you can see there the Halloween spider says part 1. I think that was because we was having all those issues leading up to all the issues with the broadband. You can see why that restream couldn't keep up. I seem to have quite a sketchy internet connection there. I don't know why I pay like a premium through business for my BT connection. Anyways, so then we have the DIY AI model with PyTorch. So this is how to build your own AI model using PyTorch, which that was a really cool, fun video to do. So you can actually train it to detect various different things. And the idea there was I would have all different kinds of Raspberry Pi boards, so like a Pico, or even like an Arduino, a microbit, and it'd be able to detect what that was and draw a rectangle around it and tell you what that is. So that's just a cool custom machine learning model. And then we had the new Raspberry Pi 5 SSD kit. So that's a little hat that you can put on top with the branded SSD drive from Raspberry Pi. Again, that was a cool one. And then they followed that one up. They had like a non-stop launch schedule right through to December. So Raspberry Pi AI Hat Plus, so this was twice the speed as the AI kit they previously launched, and this is like an all-in-one hat that you can just plug on there. So it's not a module that goes into an NVMe, or like an NVMe hat, the M2 hat. This one is a dedicated Hat Plus for that. So yeah, there's probably a lot more we can do with that hat as well. So I'll be following that up with some future videos I expect as well. November, so I created 10 videos in November. The blue ones are all the ones which are pretty much the top 2. They're the Raspberry Pi ones. As you can see there, we've got Raspberry Pi Mini Arcade, we've got the Touch Display 2, we've got the USB 3 hub, Mailbox Hangout. We had, I think there's 2 of them for some reason. I'm not sure why that's been doubled up. Probably just me cut and pasting that wrong perhaps. Raspberry Pi 5 Mini Arcade, that's one of the funnest things I've done this year. It was such a nice project to put together. It's not even got 1,000 views, that one. I'll be showing these off at open source next year, so if you want to come and play on that, you can do. And then monitoring with telegraphs, that was quite a recent one that we did. Quite a fun video to do as well. And then finally, 10 things that you can do with your Raspberry Pi Pico to get you started. Again, these kinds of videos tend to perform quite well. That one's got 8,000 views on it. Just proving the point there. Then in December I did one on Obsidian, how I use that to collect all my notes together. I do actually use Notion as well, but Notion kind of forces you to think about structure before you know what you're doing. So I don't tend to use it as much as Obsidian, which is free. And Obsidian can derive the structure from how you tag things, and I find that that works well for me. Then we have the can we make a PCB for BurgerBot? So that's the custom PCB that we designed for BurgerBot. I think I've got those somewhere next to me. The DIY robot. This was a DIY Raspberry Pi Pico robot. What mistakes did I make? So this was essentially following up. You can see there's like no weeks between that. I designed the PCB. The next week I sort of follow that up with the actual video of how to use that. And then Hi-Fi Bot, which is just next to me here. This is this little robot that can give you a nice crisp high five just by waving your hand in front of its face. So that's like a really fun project to do. Only got 400 views. I didn't expect that one to do too well, to be fair, but wrote up a couple of articles including the Hi-Fi Bot, Obsidian, and making a custom PCB. So yeah, I think they covers all the videos there. And this is the video wall. This is all the video thumbnails I created, not including today's actually, in 2024. So a lot of the Raspberry Pi based ones, you can see I've got that kind of blue gradient. Looks like I've stolen the Canva design, maybe. And there is quite a variance in some of them. I've got me just doing the whole like thumb thing next to me, or like here it is. I often try and just play around to see if any particular style works better than another. I know that ones that are clearer tend to perform better, so that Pico one was nice and clear. It's just like 5 picos, a nice large text on a greyish background. That's kind of uncluttered and performs quite well because of that. Some of the older videos I've done that have got really busy thumbnails don't perform well because people can't see what it is. So I do try and make those and put quite a bit of effort into those. So here's the stats from 2024. Created 12 robots, so roughly one a month. 18 projects, so they're non-robot specific projects. 62 videos. A lot of Raspberry Pi videos in November. You can see there 9 videos we created in November. Posts, these are kind of blog posts or write-ups that I've created. 17 courses, so you can see there May, June when I was traveling I didn't do a lot of those, and September, October I didn't cover a lot of those. I think I'd started a new job then, so that was where that's different. And then not too many reviews, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know if people get a lot of value out of that or not. Book recommendations people ask me for. So this is kind of winding up to the predictions for 2025. So I wanted to sort of cover off Raspberry Pi. I've got lots of different products that they make, and these are roughly the kind of categories I would reckon they fall into. So they've started branding storage. So there's the SD cards and NVMe drives. There's add-on cards such as the AI hat, the Power over Ethernet hat, the M.2 hat, the Sense hat, which is quite an old hat now actually. I think it's one of the oldest things they sell. There's the cameras, the camera module 3 and all the variants of that, the noir, the wide and so on, the high quality camera and the AI camera module. Then we have all the different types of computers. So there's a Raspberry Pi 5, the Compute Module 5, the Pi 500, the Zero 2. Then we have the microcontrollers, the Pico, Pico 2, and all the variants of those with the Wi-Fi's and header variants. So for each of those families, it's like 4 variants. Then there's the displays. So they've got the Display 2 and the monitor, which is just behind me there. Then there's the accessories, which they have a whole load of accessories. Mice, keyboards, debug probe, a USB 3 hub, active cooling fan for the Pi 5, the little silicon bumpers that you can put on the bottom. There's the clock battery, which is like an extra thing you can get for the Raspberry Pi 5. The cases and power supplies. So they do an awful lot of accessories for the Raspberry Pi 5. And then there's 2 categories that I thought I would include on here. So specific software things that Raspberry Pi makes. So they make the VS Code Pico plugin, the Raspberry Pi OS itself, which is kind of a special version of Debian that's been modified to work perfectly with the Raspberry Pi, all the Raspberry Pis from the very, very first one. And the Raspberry Pi Imager, which is a software that you can download for Mac, Windows, Linux, and that will actually flash onto an SD card. If I have to show everybody what one of those is, and they maintain that as well. And then a new category for this year is the Raspberry Pi Connect service. So this is a service, and I think this is something they're looking to charge businesses for. So if you've got a whole fleet of Raspberry Pis and you want to connect to them remotely, either remote shell or remote desktop, you can do that through Raspberry Pi Connect. It's free for personal use as well. I think there might be a cap coming in the future potentially, but right now I think you can have as many devices that you bought you can connect to that. So that's pretty cool, but I can see that there'll be more potential for the Connect service in the coming year. So here's a little chart. I spent quite a lot of time this afternoon putting this together. So for each of the product families, such as Raspberry Pi, which includes all the Raspberry Pi, 2, 3, 4, 5, 500, 0, and so on. Well, not the 0, that's a different line, sorry, but the Pi 5 is the latest release. That was released in October 2023. So it's been 455 days since that was actually updated. And the update cadence, if you look at when they launched all the other versions of that, it's between 2 and 4 years. So are they likely to update that in 2025? I think that's unlikely, given it's just 2 years since that was updated. The Pico and Pico W, that was updated this November, so that was the Pico 2W that came out. So it's only been 58 days since that was updated. The update that cadence is about 2.5 years, so it's unlikely that we're going to get a new Pico, like a Pico 3 out, I would say, next year. Now the Zero, it was launched quite a long time ago. This is the cheapest Raspberry Pi computer that you can buy. So the last time this was updated, the Pico 2W, this one was October 21, so it's been 1,703 days since they've updated this. So I would say, given that, and given that the cadence is, 4.7 years since they updated that previously, I think it's likely that they're going to update that to like a 0.3 next year. So let's come back in a year's time and see if we're right. And I haven't got any insider knowledge on this one. The last time I spoke to Eben Upton about this, I think was February 2023, when it was the 10th birthday of Raspberry Pi. It might have even been 2022. And I asked him about the Raspberry Pi Zero, and he said it's really difficult. They've shoved everything on that one board. There's not much room for anything else to go on there. So I know from an engineering point of view, it's really difficult to upgrade that. But I think there is definitely room for a newer chip and hopefully more memory on that one. The camera module was updated in January 2023, so that's when we had the camera module 3 and the high quality camera. So it's been 720 days since they last updated that. They tend to update the cameras about between 3 and 6 years. So again, I don't think it's likely that we're going to get a camera module 4 next year. I think that's unlikely. And the compute module 4, that was updated just last month, so it's been 32 days since they updated that. They tend to update that every 2 to 3 years, so it's unlikely we'll get like a compute module 6. That tends to follow the Raspberry Pi family. So when the Raspberry Pi 6 comes out, which will probably be in 2027 or something like that, then that'll probably follow shortly after that. So my predictions last year for this year was the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 5. So yes, got that one right. That was launched in 27th of November. The Pico 2, that's kind of an easy one to guess. I think that one, so that was launched in 8th of August. The Pico 2W, that was the 25th of November. And then the Raspberry Pi Display 2. So I thought they would update that little touch display, and they did. They updated that in 4th of November. Faster Python. So Python 13 does have some performance gains, but not anything like on a scale. They have removed the global interlock, the GIL. So I think there's probably some more gains that can be had on Python, but it kind of, that's as fast as it runs. Mojo was, I thought, would trend more than it has done this year, so not as much as expected. Mojo is kind of a fast version of Python. It's compatible with Python and is like an enhancement of Python. And it was supposed to revolutionize all the people that use Python, but that just didn't happen really. The IoT and large language model innovation. So we had the AI cameras and the AI accelerators, so I think I got that one right. Maybe that large language model, we need some other things for that. So Laurie's saying in the chat there, what about a pro version of the Raspberry Pi 500? I'm not sure they'll do that. I'll put that out there. So I'm willing to be proven wrong there. Maybe I should add that to this list. I don't think there'll be a Raspberry Pi 500 Pro. If anybody from Raspberry Pi is watching this, please make that just out of spite because I've said that. So what do I predict for 2025? So I think the Raspberry Pi 03 with at least 1 gig of memory will come out. No idea when that will be, but I predict that will happen this year. Raspberry Pi 5A, or maybe some more variants of the Raspberry Pi 5 potentially. So I was just thinking that smaller form factor. They didn't do that with the Raspberry Pi 4, but maybe we'll see more variants of the Raspberry Pi 5 just because it's their flagship product, and if they can tweak it or give it some kind of update, people might come back to that. The more AI accelerators. So I know that Halo have got even faster, is it like 50 tops or something, so we might see even faster AI accelerator boards, and because they're just a hat that you can add to it or module, I'm pretty sure we'll see kind of a Raspberry Pi branded one of those come out again, and maybe something for like large language models. More camera modules. So even though I don't think we're going to get a new camera module like a camera module 4, we might see some more variants, a bit like the AI camera. Maybe we'll see like a high quality camera with the AI kit. I don't know, something like that perhaps. More online services. So that connect. I was thinking about this, like if you think when Apple brought out like iTools and their iCloud software, there's like an entire revenue stream just from doing online services. I was wondering if Raspberry Pi would go down that route as well, maybe like some cloud storage, or I don't know, cloud services, something like that. Maybe something with Mythical Beasts, who host lots of Raspberry Pis. So maybe we'll see more services from them. And then finally the software. So Debian Trixie is due out later this year. I don't think there's an official launch date for that yet, but the cadence of when they update it says that this year is the year that Trixie will come out. So Raspberry Pi OS usually takes a couple of months, like 3 months following that, to sort of customize a Raspberry Pi OS with that. So I think potentially November, December we should see a Trixie release of Raspberry Pi OS. So they're my predictions for 2025. Let me know in the comments what you predict and what you would like to see from Raspberry Pi in the year ahead, and any other predictions you've got for the year as well. I'd be very interested in that too. So I've got on my desk over here, let me just go to, if I go to this view here, you can see I've got this great big box next to me, so a couple of different views from the camera there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swing my microphone around here so you can still hear me, and I'm going to unbox what PCBWay have sent me. So they've sent this to all the YouTubers that they sponsor. Let's hope I'm not doing anything by doing this. I did have to blank out my address on there, so that's what those ugly things are on the top. Right, so now Alex did actually buy me a nice little knife to do this with, but I don't know where to put it. I think it's in a drawer somewhere. So I'm just using some scissors for now. So just watch me struggle with this for a second. And then I'll go to the overhead view to sort of get a close-up of each of the things. Right, let's open this up. Wow, I can see some things already that look quite fun. Right, let's go to the overhead view for this one. It looks like that's blurred out, doesn't it? It's just like the bag that it's in. So there's a really cool PCBWay hat. It's a really nice quality hat there. Let's open that up and see. So how cool is that? PCBWay. It's a nice woolly hat. Maybe I'll put that on. What's this? So there's a PCBWay box. Let's open this up and see what's inside. Oh, nice. That's like a coffee cup thing. Alex usually likes to pinch these for me. Is that unscrews? There we go. So there's a few bits and pieces in there. How nice is that though? Keep your drink nice and hot. It's insulated. Yes, a coffee cup. Because on the coffee, do not microwave. Hand wash only. That's really nice. What's this? Christmas limited folding fan. What's this? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Let's open this up. How do we do this without breaking it? Do we twist it? There we go. That's so cool. PCBWay, communicate innovation. I like that. That's like a really good quality fan as well. Look at that box that it's presented in as well. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Got a little magnet to hold it closed as well. That's very nice. Oh, what's this? How do we open this? There we go. So it's a little PCBWay Santa thing. So I can probably hang that on the tree. It's like a little key fob thing. It's really cute. Not sure what kind of creature that is. Is that like a parrot or something? PCBWay parrot? I like it when companies have a mascot. Oh wow, look at that. That's cool. I shall get Google Translate on that in a minute and see what it says. Then what is this? Absolutely almighty. I think this is a cushion. Let's get this out. Oh my goodness, this is huge. It's like a neck cushion slash I don't know what. It's very comfy though. I'll just put this on the other camera so you can see just how big this is. Is it like a life raft thing? That's very comfy. That will go on the chair behind me, I think. And then what have we got finally? Let's have a look at like a packing sheet. And what else have we got in the back there? A little Christmas card, identity card. That's quite neat. Ah, so that's the newborn Eon. That's the character I was saying about that sort of parrot thing. Eon, PCBWay Nation, be your friend forever. That's really sweet. I like it, like I said, when people have mascots. Oh, and this is like a little card that says family, friend or other. You can send that to people. Cool. So that's everything from the box. So yeah, I'm liking the fan and the hat. Let's have a look at that fan again. So Laurie says, I think there's a blanket inside. Inside here, is that what this is? Ah, right. Oh wow, Laurie's smart. Let's get this open. I see, that makes more sense now. So it's like a massive blanket thing. How cool is that? It's huge. It's really comfy. I think I've got a new favourite blanket. That's so cool. Thanks for that, Laurie. Thanks for pointing that out. That's really cool. That's coming down. That's coming down with me in a minute. Cool. Yeah, so that cute little bird Eon. How cool is that? I like Eon. I think we'll have to put Eon on the back. Neat. Cool. Okay, let's jump back to our slides for a second. So thank you so much, PCBWay, for sending me that. That's really thoughtful and really sweet. Really love that fan. I think I'll give that to Jenny or Alex. Like a really good quality fan. I think they'll enjoy that too. Cool, and I love the hat. I'll have to wear the hat. That blanket is really cool, isn't it? Cool. So I normally show you merch at this point. I want to show you something else new. I've not done a slide for this yet. But let's go back over to our store, our webpage. We've got Maker Notes, PCBs and the Robot Maker's Almanac. So we're currently on the Robot Maker's Almanac page. So you can now buy one of these. You can now actually get your hands on one of these for real. You can go to kesrobots.com/Robot Maker's Almanac and you'll find all about what's in it and why you need one, and then you can press buy and buy one. And if you're a moderator for this channel, I'll put a code into Discord as well, so you can grab one of those for free for being a moderator. I'll also throw in some Maker Notes. So let me show you Maker Notes. So I made my own handcrafted notepads. So these are really cool. I took these with me when we went to New York. So that's I think Jenny in Central Park, just scribbling away on one of the little Maker Notes there. You can see you've got a few different colours, and they've got good green credentials as well, so they're made from FSC certified paper and premium materials. And yes, that's also a rock from Central Park that you can see there as well. I think there's also a picture if you click on that little view there. That's Jenny, me over Jenny's shoulder taking a picture as we sat on the steps at Times Square. So that we took quite a few pictures knowing that this would be launched at some point. So you can get yourself a pack of 3 of those as well for £9. I can only apologise about the shipping cost on that. It is what it is. That's just how much things cost in the UK, I'm afraid. We've also got PCBs. So I've made a number of PCBs, and every time I make some I'm happy to put my name to, I will put these on the store as well. So the Gamepad 2, you might have seen that one on quite a few videos that I've made. There's the blank for that. So you just pop a Pico on the back, and 8 buttons for controlling it, and 3 buttons on there if you want to have the display. You don't have to have the display, and really easy to power that up as well with a little connector just there as well. So you can build your own remote control, Bluetooth remote control, whatever you want for your robots, and it's kind of in a nice form factor as well. There's the servo helpers. So I've actually got one of the servo helpers on this scrolly wally next to me. So this is a little simple board. You can put your servo headers on there for up to 12 different servos. You only need one power input to power all the servos, and then the top row is the signal pins. So it makes it really easy. You're dealing with a lot of servos and you want something in a nice small form factor. It's even got some mounting holes around the side as well. And then we've got the Pico Tamachibi, which we just had a look at as well. There's the board that I built. So that's a really fun one. So I've only got a couple of these at the moment, but I will reorder stock if anybody's interested. So £4 for the servo helpers and then £6 each for the gamepad and the Pico Tamachibi. So I'll be ordering them en masse if people are interested in those. So definitely head over to the store and buy them. So Maker Notes, PCBs and Robot Maker's Almanac. So I shall update my slide deck to show that in future. If you've not joined our Discord community, definitely head over to kezrobots.com/discord and get yourself a sign up link on there. Just ask you for your email address, and that can also be used to sign you up to the newsletter, which we send out once a month now. But yeah, this Discord is a great community, and we have our own little space on there, just all about robots. And if you want to follow me on social media, I'm on all the social medias. So I'm on Threads, Kev McAleer, threads.net. I'm on TikTok at Kev McAleer 6. So I guess TikTok's been banned in the US, isn't it, from January this year? So that'll be one less platform to worry about, I guess. I'm Kev McAleer on Instagram. I'm on Kev's Mac at X. Not for sure how much longer, but I'm on there still at the moment. I'm on Mastodon at kevsmac at mastodon.social, and I'm also on Blue Sky at kevsmac .bsky.social. You get all kinds of behind the scenes things, and it's just fun to communicate and connect with people and share kind of what we're working on there as well. And if you want to join me, you want to get your name in your end credits, you can do that in a number of different ways. You can go to kezrobots.com/coffee. That's one way to get your name in the credits, and you can basically just buy a one-off coffee if you want. You can join the Buy Me a Coffee monthly subscription to buy essentially a coffee per month, or if you want to do it the YouTube way, you can join the YouTube membership program and essentially do the same thing on there as well. So there's a number of people I want to give a thanks to. Here we go. So we have over on the left hand side, so thanks Johnny and Marie for buying coffees. Marie bought 3 coffees. I really appreciated that. And we've got a couple of members. So we've got Marie TKD, we have Andrew, we have Shemi, Jeff, Dean Corty, Marling and Tom. And then on the YouTube membership side, we've got Marie, we've got Michael, Steve Phillips, we've got Ford, Bello, Orkrad39, Littleback, Paul, Johnny, Hans from Cheerlights, Prem Kumar, Stephen Cross, John Paul, we have Alistair Ware, Cassie, Tinkering Rocks, Johnny Bates, and of course we have Tom as well. So thank you so much for supporting the work that I've been doing over this past year. Really appreciate every single one of those contributions, whether it's a coffee or even just a like on a video. So thank you so much. And it's at this point in the video where YouTube will suggest over here another video from the over 400 videos that I've now got on the channel. So please have a look at that one, check that one out, and let me know what you think about that. And it's at this point in the video I shall say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time. And if you're watching this on replay, I'm just going to hit the stream marker button, and I've got a couple of other updates to give you. We can see what people have been talking about in the chat. So let me just get my notes up on here. So yes, I've got some travel planned for next year. So if you are in any of these particular locations or going to any of these events, definitely say hi. So I'll be at Open Source in San Francisco. I think that's in July this coming year. I'll be in the Rome Maker Fair, which tends to be on the back end of the year. Maker Central, I think that one is it May that usually is around. We'll also be going to Berlin, but that's just like on a holiday. I was thinking about maybe going to Form next, but no, I think that's an actual holiday. And I'll also be at the San Jaime Automotive Ripback Festival Smurf 25 as well. Probably Liverpool Make Fest thrown in there as well if they're doing that too. So a couple of projects I'll be working on in this coming year. You can see I've moved my 3D printer to the back of the room there. I'm going to put my other 3D printer kind of next to it where that white thing is at the moment, and in the middle where that cluster of Raspberry Pis is. That's where my new Prusa Core 1 printer will be going. So I've ordered one of those. I think they're launching them in January, so or they'll be shipping them in January. They've launched it already. I saw that at Smurf 24 this year. And I thought it's about time. I had so many problems getting these printers to work. So that one is actually working. I've fixed that one now. There's a little Raspberry Pi. You can just see that white blob there sat on top. That one's always on, and I can switch this on remotely. And yes, the other 3D printer will, once I fix that one, it's kind of in a state of disrepair at the moment. If I just move this box out of the way, I can show you there all the wires which are kind of dangling off the back of that at the moment. So once I've fixed that one tomorrow, then I'll be putting that one somewhere over there at the back. So I'll have a little print farm at the back of the studio. I'll also clear up all this lot here as well, because this is quite embarrassing. Cool. Dale says he's planning to go open source 2025. That'd be so cool, Dale. I'd love to say hello and see you there. I think we're going to be spending a bit more time in San Francisco as well this year. This last year, we went to San Francisco for a week, and then for New York for the week after that. Simply because it's such a long journey from the UK, we had to stop over in New York anyway, so we thought we'd spend a week there, because we'd been there like 10 years ago, so there's still a few things we need to sort of finish, and we'd not even been in Central Park last time, so we did that this time, hence the pictures. What else is there? So yes, one of the projects I'm working on right now is a geodesic dome that I will laser cut, so I'll be able to put this big dome together using like tiny little parts and little coin things that they all slot into, kind of like that kind of orientation. Modelling a geodesic dome in Fusion 360 is quite challenging, but not impossible. So I've created that. I'm going to be laser cutting that out, and that's going to be for a Raspberry Pi based observatory. So on the summer house, on the roof of the summer house, will be a permanently installed observatory that when the weather's nice, the roof can sort of roll back. The camera, the high quality camera, which is currently in the Peacon camera, which is over there somewhere, that'll be mounted inside this observatory, and I'll be able to stargaze completely remotely without even leaving my house. So how nice will that be? So that's a project I'm going to be working on this week. It's cool because geodesic domes are cool, and you know, stargazing is cool, and there's lots of cool stuff you can do with that. So we'll have to put in there a digital compass so it knows which way it's oriented, some really small servo motors, well, not small, accurate servo motors for sort of moving the observatory round very slightly. I did even think about using some like wheels like these ones to sort of move the observatory around from within, but it does need to be weatherproof, so that's like an extra challenge on top. So what I was thinking was make the geodesic dome, which will kind of have holes in it where there's no covering, and then maybe like Mod Podge or put some kind of like aeroplane dope over the top, like tissue paper and dope, so that it forms a structure, and then like weatherproof that. So as long as it closes up so that the rain can't get in and the snow can't get in, it should be fine. QB2 is a robot I'll be working on to work on ROS, because people want more ROS tutorials, it seems. And Twitcher Pi 2 is a project I'll be working on. That's a project I started and never really finished. The AI bit kind of got a bit tricky on that, so that's something I'll be working on now that AI is within my wheelhouse. I'll be definitely making more PCBs, so more burger bots, and probably a simple motor driver for Pico-based robots. So it'll simply be, a bit like the Kitronic one, where you can put a Pico in and you've got like access to all the motor ins and outs. Maybe like 4 motor drivers on there. And a robot construction system. This is something I started but then didn't finish, but I've got a really nice 3D model I can use that you can build different robots out of, so that'd be really cool. So they're the projects I've got on my to-do list. So I'm going to scroll back and see what people have been talking about. So let's see, there's been quite a bit of chat. Interesting, how stable is the channel now? Now that like I've done the main part of the show. Anyways, so let's scroll down here and see what people have been talking about. So Laurie was saying about been puzzling over Kev's servo easing code this weekend. Cool. Let me know if you have any problems with that. Ford was saying they've got a Squishmallow. I know Alex likes Squishmallows and has also bought one of those recently. John T says not got any Christmas things yet, but planning to go to Cambridge tomorrow for the Raspberry Pi shop. Awesome. It's a really nice arcade that it's in as well. Laurie got a laser cutter. So cool. Let me know what kind of laser cutter you got. How many watts is it? What kind of laser beam? Is it a CO2 or a fibre or something? Mine's a 5 watt. Mine's like the cheapest one that you can buy. I think it's a Creality as well, but it's pretty cool. Well, Laura's is enclosed, but you will wear eye protection. That's very sensible. You want to get one set of eyeballs. Lasers are cool. Alex has also got a Squishmallow, a giant pig one. Cow one. Why did I say pig or big? A big cow one. Are there sharks too? Sharks? Are they for sharks too? Got lasers. Lasers and sharks. If that's a reference to something, I don't get it. Vince has got I've got my partner Joe loads of Squishmallows this year. You probably can't have too many Squishmallows, but then there's a physical point where yes, you can have too many Squishmallows. Ford got a little Squishmallow of Tails from the Sonic games. Cool, cool. Vince has loads of Minecraft Squishmallows. That's cool. Alex saw the new Sonic movie on Boxing Day. I think we're looking at watching that Nosferatu soon. That looks pretty cool. Dale hasn't seen any of the Sonic movies. Maybe I should. Dyslexic orcs. Is that OKRs? It's like objectives. Is it key performance metrics and results or something? I think it stands for. Alex says they're all good. Jim Carrey makes the whole film. Yeah, there's Dr. Robotnik. So Dale says, if you attend open source next year, maybe we can meet. Absolutely, Dale, 100%. If you're there, I'll be there. Yeah, I had a stall this year. I'm hoping to have a stall again next year. It's a bit of a lottery, though, because it depends on whether they accept your projects or not. Dale says, I want to build a Cubie. Yeah, so the first Cubie is a really cool robot. I'm just thinking, like, how can I make that even better? I originally built it, and it was kind of one of those, like, I just want to make a robot that's a cube shape, and I'd not really thought about what was going in it. So when I started putting things in it, it got kind of a bit awkward to put other things in. So this one will be a bit bigger, I think. Adam says, I've uploaded 5 videos in the new year, only 50 to go to finish the set. Love it. Yep, so I'm trying to attend as many events as possible, as Alex says, but nothing is set in stone yet, so we shall see. Dale, I balked both of my Raspberry Pi 5 8GB boards. Oh no! That's not great. 90,000 words need to be written for the next novel revision. That's cool. I'm thinking about writing a book as well. I've definitely got a book in me. I've just not started it yet. Not started it in earnest. I've restarted it about 4 times, I think, now. I just need to home it in a bit. But I've watched quite a few videos and procrastinated about this, so yeah, definitely give that one a go. One thing that they suggested was, they said, why don't you just present your ideas as like a live stream and then get the transcription and just put that as your first draft. That would be just full of ums and if I did that, I guess. Vince says, see, I want to go back to projects next year. Work too much time out to me. Yeah, I feel that sometimes, particularly when I'm changing roles and stuff, and there's like a lot of extra energy that's required in a working day, you've got nothing left at the end of the day. So, yeah, it really does depend on what you can get done, really. So Dale says you should not stop doing reviews just because they don't do well. We need that information. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like that. I've decided that I'm going to be a robot factory in 2025 and build us lots of robots. You learn so much, I think, by physically building the robot. Each robot I build tends to have like a single purpose or a single use, and because of that, once I built it, I don't tend to use a lot of it extra. BurgerBot's probably different because that was designed to be a platform for learning things. I always intended to sell that as a kit as well, so that's something I've not done yet. It says, I want kits that need no soldering, just screws and things fixing together. Exactly, that's kind of what I'm thinking about the BurgerBot kit. It'll just be a matter of getting the PCB that's got all the parts preloaded on it. My PCB skills are not good enough yet to do that, and that's something I want to do this year, is get surface mounted. They call it birdseed, don't they? All the parts that are pre-populated on the board, and you simply like drop in a Pico or something and away you go. Adam says, I have a PCB to finish and publish. That'd be cool. Dale says, I'm head of the open source hardware initiative now. This is going to be awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I love open source. Adam says, I'm not a moderator on Discord, so I can't follow that link. I shall check that one out because you should be, I think, Adam. Let me just find Discord. I'll get it open on my other machine. There we go. Ben says I have a 3D printer, so I can also print items. That's cool. What else we got on here? Ford had to go away from keyboard. Dale says, I'm uploading more to Instagram and Twitter. It's quite challenging, isn't it, to sort of consistently update things on social media. Some people just naturally do it. I think all my stuff has to have a point. I don't like just putting stuff out there for no reason. I always like to sort of give value, but that requires quite a bit of thought to go in there. Hey Peter, how's it going? South Wales. My brother lives in Wales. He lives in Newtown, sort of mid Wales. Ford says, I think if I ever rode in an AI car and saw my pants, honestly, it's a better driver than most of the drivers that we've been. Where did we go where the drivers were absolutely terrible? The guy who was in New York who was taking us back to the airport, like, he had 2 near misses. And when I say near misses, full slam on the brakes and like beeping at somebody because like he'd try and cut in front of them and they didn't give. So yeah, that was just crazy. And there was another one as well that was just insane. I can't remember where that was now. I think it was Italy when we was in Italy this year, Rome this year. There's some crazy drivers there. But that's Italy for you. They do nice cars though. So Marie says, I think it's Sunflower for the Pine Man 5 case. Thank you for that. I thought you were younger than that. No, nearly. I'm 49. I'm about to be 50 this year in May. It says I've ditched Chrome and use one called Zen Browser, which is based on Firefox. Hey William, how's it going? Just ordered the new Pimroni Presto for Christmas and it's being delivered today. Awesome. You'll not be disappointed with that. It's such a cool display thing. Looks really, really nice. And it says the Lex Luthor Network. What is that? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you do with it as well, actually. So Vince is toying with the idea of getting one of those for a desktop weather station or such. Yeah, that would definitely be quite cool. Had the idea of using it with Home Assistant. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Home Assistant would be good. Adam's waiting for payday for 2 new 12 gig hard drives. So I've got a couple of Lacy drives on right in front of me, actually. One of them is backing up this Mac that I'm on now, and the other one is the backup for the Mac Mini that's on my desk as well. I've got an M2 Mac Mini. Yep, BT is pretty appalling at times. Deshboo says, oink, smash that like button. It's got 18 likes on this video so far. I'm sure we can do better than that. I think maybe we get a like for every time that Laurie says touchdown. Phil says, hearing you talk about internet problems reminds me of whenever mine messes up. I even came up with a little spoof of my IP's former jingle when they use a different name. Optimum, is that what it was called? Hey Marie, how's it going? Let's see what else people are talking about. So yeah, on my predictions thing, so Laurie's thinking, what about a pro version of the Raspberry Pi 500? Like a Raspberry Pi 510 or something, or 550, with a little NVMe drive. Given that they've got all the hardware, most of the hardware, I think there's like 2 capacitors that you need to add on the header thing and obviously a different underneath. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with that. I don't think they will do that, but we shall see. Hacking the port. They would like to see a Raspberry Pi 5 with at least 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, I remember when I interviewed Eben Upton about that, he said that wouldn't be possible because of some limitation of the chip. But I do remember looking at like where it's got like 248 and then there's like a blank thing on the resistor thing. So we'll just have to see what happens next year with that. More RAM would increase the size of the models that can be run. Exactly. So I think for larger language models, that would be a real no-brainer, wouldn't it? More likely people move back to home storage like arrays, NASes as more as call them, offline cloud storage. So yeah, unboxing time was so much fun. I love that. I'm definitely going to put my hat on later on. The cap is staying on though, so there we go. It can go like that for now. So Phil says, I predict more people will be switching from Linux, switching to Linux for desktop use once Windows support for Windows 10 ends. Yeah, because they like to buy a Windows 11 machine, and the fact you can't run Windows other than Windows 11 and it be supported, that's going to be pretty crazy. So yeah, you'll see a lot of people moving over to like Linux. Which version of Linux would you recommend? Mint? I quite like Debian myself, the Raspberry Pi version. Laurie does love unboxings. I did take note of that, Laurie, actually. I've done quite a few unboxing videos this year for that very reason. Dale says, I've just had a NAS. I just have the NAS that just needs the drives. Is that like a QNAP or something? Real box opening action. So Dale says, I plan to build my NAS with a Raspberry Pi 5 and a quad NVMe SSD hat. So each time you split the NVMe, so the more NVMe slots you've got, you're basically just splitting your bandwidth down there. So I don't know if that matters to you or not. I thought it would be a snake in the can. Nope, it's just like a coffee cup. I like the colour of it, I like the stripiness. It's like really good quality. I have to make sure I take that desiccant out, which is the what does that say there? It's like a little stickery thing. Yeah, it's really nice quality. So Adam says, I don't have a 5 with the RP5 case. Hasn't been released when I went to an ASUS store. Fair enough. Marie predicts I'll be poor due to the many toys hitting the face. Too many toys hitting the market. Yeah, there's just so many things being released, isn't there? Yeah, isn't that cute, that little Eon board? I really like that. And thanks, Laurie, for pointing out that there's a blanket inside. How did you know that? Have you seen the other YouTubers get that and unbox it, or did you just intuitively know that? I'm always poor due to that. That's it. Can you unzip the big thing? Absolutely. So we did that. It's now unzipped just on the floor next to me. I'll be your friend, little bird. For picnics, absolutely. That blanket is cool. And for naps. I do like to have a blanket on top of me when I'm on the couch. It's the best thing. It is a really cool care package, isn't it? I did enjoy that. I think that's one of my favourite things about doing YouTube and people wanting to send stuff to you so that it gets on screen, is that you get a lot of stuff sent to you that's quite cool. I think all the Pimoroni things are like my favourite things that I get sent, that and the Raspberry Pi stuff. So Dale says, put the fan on the servo and you automatically wait for you. You're thinking ahead there. Let's get that out again. So how nice is the Christmas limited edition folding fan, as they call it? A really nice little case. Alex used to have a thing for fans. There we go. So PCBWay Communicate Innovation, and on the back you've got, hello there, Eon. I'm Eon, your lovely virtual environment protection ambassador for PCBWay. About my birth, what does it say there? I'm all about sustainability and innovation, and my birth is inspired by a cute parrot symbolising friendly communication and effective service. Could be delivered at PCBWay. Those young little leaves on my head symbolise hope and environmental protection, while the leaves veins give a nod to PCB manufacturing. And about my name, EON. E stands for electronic, efficient, economical, eco-friendly, and the ON signifies our commitment to maintaining high quality and sustainability. We can do that together. Let's make the world smarter and greener. I love that. So that's really cool. Make sure I don't mess this up as I close it. It's like really tough as well as it closes there. Thank you again, PCBWay, for that. Really do appreciate it. We just ordered it. So what have you just ordered? Have I got like orders coming through now? Right, so the other thing I was going to do, I was going to make Adam a Discord moderator, I think. So if I go over there, I'm sure I did that, but I mustn't have done. So do I have to go to like channel? I'm not sure how I even do that. Let's see. I added you to this, the moderators thing, but maybe I need to find you individually and then just right click on your levels or something. I'm terrible at this. Show member list. There we go. Adam. There we go. So how do I change your settings? I'll do this later rather than trying to do it now on the stream because I'll just mess it up. I click the right thing then and it's come up with the right thing, so there we go. So if I go to profile and then we add in moderator, there you go, you're now moderator, Adam. Cool. What else we got? Order them with a notebook, awesome. I might need to get a Pico Tamachibi at some point. I'll definitely order some more of them if people want those. Of course, never had a TikTok account, 3 social media platforms, well 2 if you count Discord. Which is just enough for me. Honestly, as a content creator, you can there's so many platforms out there that you want to post to, and you don't want to miss any out because what happens if there's more people on there that are to do with your thing? Yeah. I've also got a TikTok account for purposes of giveaways only. Oh, thank you for that, Marie. Really do appreciate it. Dale says we're sporting again after the New Year's. No worry, Dale. No worries at all. Vince has placed an order for the almanac and 3 packs of maker notes. Cool. I'm going to have to get making more of them next week. My entire free time is now going to be my own sweatshop, isn't it? Just making these things. They are all handmade by me. So, me and Jenny. So, Smurf is the Sanjay Mortimer Rip Rap Festival. Sanjay Mortimer was really enthusiastic and influential in the Rip Rap maker scene, and unfortunately he died a couple of years ago, so they have this festival in his honour. So it was at Oxford University, I think, the first year, and then the second year it was at Manchester Met, so I went to that one because it's only 20 minutes away. So yeah, Dale's planning to go to Open Source 2025. Honestly, Dale, that would be so cool. You'll definitely have to come by and say hi and we can have a good chat. Imagine even going out of the house to some cool event. Sheltered alien moods. That's funny. I'm the same. I'm like an introvert. I'm not a person that's extroverted, so speaking to people out in the world is awkward, but it's something I have to do. So I don't have to go. So I've got a medical appointment. I need to be going out and get more done in 2025. Yeah, and they're quite cool, the events. I mean, that Open Source was really, really nice. There's a really nice vibe in San Francisco and that kind of Bay Area, the sort of Californian coast. Really did enjoy that. We hired a car while I was there as well. Best thing I've ever done. Driving on the wrong side of the road with different rules in another country is really intimidating at first, but I'm so glad we did it. It's really easy to drive in the US. I've got to put it out there. People coming from the US to the UK to drive, they must find it really difficult because we have tiny roads and weird roundabouts and weird traffic light systems. So how are you handling humidity for your observatory? So that's a good question. I will have to think about this. So I don't know the answer to that yet. Possibly put in a little heater or something. I don't know. It is a good question though. I do intend for it to be outside permanently, so I'm going to really have to think about how the whole thing works there. So I want the when it closes, it to be a solid close, so rain or rain being pushed by wind, and it's really damp where I live as well. The reason the cotton industry kind of was kicked off literally 10 minutes from where I live, there's a place called Hawlith Wood, and it's where the spinning jenny, which is the first piece of industrial revolution machinery. It was an automated loom that was made in a secret room at Hawlith Wood. Hall-ith, it means hall in the wood. It's a really old Tudor building. Yes, the reason that sort of kicked off there is because Bolton is really, really humid all the time, and because of that, cotton's really easy to work. It doesn't really work well in non-damp environments, apparently. So that's a really good question that I shall have to look into that. I'm just going to look at building the thing first, and then I shall troubleshoot each problem one at a time. So the Starlink that I've got on the roof, that has a built-in heater to get rid of snow and stuff. So maybe I could put it's going to constantly use power, heating something up if it needs it. But I could maybe have it so that it only comes on if the humidity goes above a certain level. We shall see. Alex says, I'll be home every meteor shower now. Right, so we do have a really good open sky here, so there's not too much light pollution or anything. And we live on the top of a hill, so we've got quite a good unobstructed view of the sky. Did I mention the 24th is my birthday in March? Cool. You didn't mention that, Ford, but now you have. So Adam says, Jonty, I hope you have enough bank balance for the Cambridge shop. Honestly, they've got so much cool stuff there. Have a look as well when you go to the front desk. They've got all that, the really rare Raspberry Pis, like different coloured PCBs, and like the prototype ones are all underneath a glass thing. Honestly, worth spending a bit of time in there. And like, look at everything while you're in there. There's so much cool stuff. Sharks with lasers. So Ford says, I just wish there was as much freedom in the offline world as we're here in the online world. Cool. So an X-Tool, good choice. I get honestly bombarded by adverts every day from X-Tools. They were on my list of cool stuff to buy, but I went with a 3D printer because I've got the cheap laser cutter. It can't cut through everything, and it can't do acrylics particularly well unless they're like really coloured, rather than like the see-through. But it's okay as a 5-watt laser, so 20 watt. That's a really cool. And X-Tools is the best. I also use a Lightburn. I don't know if you use Lightburn with yours, but yeah, I use Fusion 360 to design the model, export as a DXF, and then bring that into Lightburn. So Andre says, hi from Sweden. You're the reason I gave MicroPython a try and loving it. Oh, that's really great to hear that. I'm really pleased about that. Let me know if you have any specific questions around MicroPython as well, because I'm always looking for like extra content to write, and people learning for the first time have the most obvious questions that need answering on there. Still says, I brought my fan connector and the PCI connector on the other one. That's not great, is it? So Adam says, start it and finish it. Don't procrastinate over the first draft. You'll never get done. Laurie, I wrote a book in pharmaceutical statistics. Lots of work to do, and you do not make money. You do it for the reputation building. Exactly. I've noticed quite a few YouTubers do that. They'll have like a book. Like Chris from Explaining Computers, he's written like loads of books. And I think it's one of those things you can kind of put it on your CV as you're an author, and it just builds that extra kind of base. It gives people a sense of authority in the subject. So Dale says, I'm very near being able to build a smart home robot controller. I'm designing the chassis now. Cool. The PCI thing is fixable as long as you haven't broken the tracks. Cool. Dale says, if you're interested in the open source hardware initiative, there's a link there. Andre says, maybe some content on TUI running on a remote target. Unfortunately, textual doesn't work on MicroPython, but maybe something else will. Cool. That sounds cool. So is that like a text user interface? A bit like the REPL that's on MicroPython? Yeah, I'll see if we can get something like that. That'd be quite straightforward to do over UART, I guess, or possibly Bluetooth, or even a web page. Rita K says, we're the same age, turned 50 in October. So I'm older than you, that means, by a couple of months. Dale says he'll be 67 next year. So Ford and Alex are the only youngsters in here. Adam says he's under 50. Rising Unicorn, hey, how's it going? From Austria, awesome. Vince will be 45 next year. Rising Unicorn will be 60 on 1st of July, is that? Or is that 1st of December? I never know which way around dates go. Is it the UK or US version? Alex is 22. Yeah, the original jingle was Suddenlink, you're connected, I see. Alex was 18 when I started YouTube. Think about that. Alex is a year younger than Ford. Yeah, I'm sure you'll catch up. Oh, he says, touchdown again. Hopefully that's another like on the video. Adam says, that actually suits you well, sir, the baseball cap. With the baseball cap, you may have just designed a new style of hat. It's called the... what style of hat is that? What's that called? Combine that with the Robot Maker hat. Dale runs Ubuntu. Yeah, I do like Ubuntu. It's very user-friendly, that, isn't it? Good package management. They did have a bit of controversy, didn't they, with Ubuntu, because they switched on some kind of thing where it sent data to their cloud even though you'd not actually asked them to do that. That comment got botched by autocorrect. I got lots of swag when I was working. Ford says, can I send you something? So when if you order any, well, if you log into the store and use that link on Discord to get stuff, I'll get your address through that, is kind of what I'm saying. So yeah, sure. Auto corrupt. That's how I knew. So Adam says, another name for the same thing. Jeff just ordered a few boards. I'm waiting for them in stock. Cool. Eon Origin Story. It is, isn't it? Is PCB a new company? No, they're really old, actually. I did read about, like, they're about 25 years old or something. They've been making PCBs, like, a long time. But they've clearly gotten into social media, and they support, like, all the best YouTubers. So there's a lot of YouTubers who are sponsored by PCBWay, and it just happens that I make PCBs now, so it makes sense for them to be a sponsor. So, yeah. I did actually meet Elaine Wu from PCBWay at Open Source. I'll see if I can find a picture. She's a tiny little lady, and always smiling, always happy. Let's see. So this was Cow Palace. Let's see if I can find that. What a weird name for a place as well, Cow Palace. There we go. So if I put this on screen. So there's Elaine and me. See, she's smaller than me, and I'm like 5'5" or something. So I've got my Boobo t-shirt on there. And yeah, always smiling. I think there was some other... This was like the most random thing. Somebody put eggs on top of all the urinals, so I had to take a picture of that because, like, that's weird. Why would you do that? I met Wicked Makers. What was really cool is I'd said to... is it Jay from Wicked Makers? There's like Jay and Jamie. I'd said, like, come by the stall and say hello, and they did. Like, they're massive YouTubers now. They've got like over 1 million subscribers. So nice to meet them in person. Really, really cool. And, like, yeah, the Cow Palace, a really weird place in San Francisco. It's like, I guess it's like a cattle market where they used to sell cattle. There's me and Becky Stern, which is pretty cool. Cool person to sort of see in real life. There's so many cool things. I could sort of just show you all these things endlessly. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else that stands out. This guy, he was on the... was he on Mythbusters Junior? I'm not sure. I know him online anyway. Who else have we got? Some cool people wearing cool stuff. There's Rob from Spark Fun. What else have we got? This guy is from Pet.io, is it? Pet.oi? I can't remember what they're called, but they make that cool little robot, and he kept going over and saying hi, and I got my little boobo there wearing that as I was walking about. So yeah, really cool event. Really enjoyed that. See if there's anything else that's significant on there, but no, I think that's probably all the best bits. Oh yeah, me and Jeff Galing as well. It's funny. The story with that is there a picture before that? I don't think there is. Right, so I met Jeff, and like we both did like a picture just like normally, and then Jenny said, no, YouTube face, and we both went like that. His dad was stood behind as well, and he was laughing at that. He thought that was hilarious. Anyways, so there you go. That was the San Francisco thing this year. Really, really fun. And yes, met Elaine from PCBWay. So, new mascot. Yay. Awesome. Adam's updated Discord and got the new thing. That's cool. Laurie's placed an order. So much fun. So I'm going to spend a lot of time this week posting things out to people, I guess. Awesome sauce. Love that, Dale. Love that. And what else is there on here? So Adam's got a new doggo, but he's picked Mum's bed to sleep on. So what's the new doggo's name? I need to know. Yeah, 12 up heating element. Exactly. I've actually got a spare one of those that I could use. I've literally got it just down here in my spare. I could build a spare 3D printer with all the parts I've got. I really could. And have got a 12 volt heated bed for that. That could do quite well. Dale says, after move I'm getting a new dog. For the observatory, look at positive pressure. That could be quite cool. Andre says there is a solid state humidifier down a few centimetres big. I've seen them at work. Companies from Japan, but I don't remember the name. Yeah, so we could do it just by heating stuff up. That can get rid of the humidity. We could have like desiccant in there, but as soon as you open it, that's just going to like go huge, isn't it, I guess? Yeah. It feels positively pressured. Offline world is overrated. So yes, tomorrow, yes, Cambridge, yes, absolutely. Many sprouts. That positively pressured. Adam says, I've been to the store and came back £300 later. Yeah. It's a really good store. I think I spent £400, £400 or £500 when I went there. I got at least 2 Raspberry Pis, I think, for the little cluster, which is just there, actually, behind me. I'm going to move both of them clusters together. There's one there. I'm trying to do this in the mirror. That one there, and the one that's just next to me there. I'm going to put them together in some kind of larger cluster thing. One's like a production and a non-production environment. So haven't really read the front to back though. Really struggle with physical books. Fair enough. Yeah, I can imagine that's fair enough. So Rising Unicorn says it's EU version and 7th of January. Ah, perfect. So very soon. A stocking cap. Is that what that's called? You need to get an NVIDIA Orin Nano Super Development kit. I plan to use at least 2 of them. Look for a solid state dehumidifier. They run at 3 volts and are pretty cool. Seeing them at work. I shall definitely look at that, Andre. Thank you for that suggestion. So what else we got? You're an inch taller than me. Dale says I bet I'm the shortest person here. Well, we'll find out when we meet in real life. 4'11" and 3/4. Let's see what everybody else is talking about. So, if I have sneakers on, I'm 5 foot tall. Jeff Gilling moment, absolutely. He's such a sweet guy in real life, honestly. When I did the video with him, the interview, he's so nice. We could have talked for like literally a long time on that. Petoi, that's it. It's how you pronounce the name. I always think it's Pet-I-O, Petoi. I don't think Chris meets a lot of people in real life. I know I did ask, like when we were doing the interview and stuff with him a while back. So I think he used to be like a university lecturer, but he doesn't do so much of that now. I sacrificed to make it happen. Jeff has to ask what to do on a video next year, and I said a joint video. So why don't you be looking for next year? Cool. Throw Kevin in to make it a 2-for-1 deal. 6'8" looking up. Wow, tall. I'm hanging above like I'm a sloth. I look up to everyone. It's not a bad thing, Dale. It's a good way of being. Cool. So thank you everyone so much for joining me in what is the last video of 2024. And I shall see you all in the new year for some fresh new ideas and possibly the first version, depending on how much I got done this week, of the observatory. We shall see. So thank you all. Have a great new year, and I shall see you all next week. Bye for now.